Namaste, I am Archana Raghuram. In the last video, we explored 10 powerful names beginning with the auspicious letter Bha, culminating in the fear-dispelling Bhaya Paha. Now we turn our attention to a new series, this time marked by the sacred syllable Sha. Shambhavi, Sharadaradhya, Sharvani, Sharmadayini, Shankari, Shrikari, Sadvi, Sharashchandra Nibhanana, Shatodari, Shantimati. The syllable Sha itself is associated with profound auspiciousness, deep peace, Shanti, and radiant happiness, Sharma. It is said that the names beginning with Sha in the Lalita Sahasranama bestow these very qualities upon the devotee, following a beautiful progression from the destruction of fear to the invocation of inner peace and joy. The first gem in the Sha series, the 122nd name, is Shambhavi. In its most direct meaning, Shambhavi signifies she who belongs to Shambhu, or the wife of Shambhu. Shambhu is one of the many revered names of Lord Shiva, meaning the benevolent one, or the very source of happiness and peace. The sacredness of the name Shambhu is beautifully highlighted in the Sri Rudram, one of the most powerful hymns dedicated to Lord Shiva. Within the Rudram, 3 sets of names are considered particularly potent. Shambhave cha mayobhave cha, Shankaraya cha mayaskaraya cha, and Shivaya cha shivataraya cha. Notice the very first name in this sacred grouping is Shambhu. Just like Shankara and Shiva, Shambhu signifies pure auspiciousness. Shambhavi, being the feminine form of Shambhu, embodies the Shakti, the divine energy of Shambhu. Within the tradition of Sri Vidya, the name Shambhavi is famously associated with Shambhavi Mudra, a powerful yogic practice. This mudra involves gently directing the gaze inward and upward, focusing on the sacred point between the eyebrows, the seat of the Agnya chakra or the third eye. This is not merely a physical posture, but a potent technique to turn the consciousness inward, drawing it away from the distractions of the external world and guiding it towards the inner self and the indwelling divine. The intimate association of goddess Lalita with the Shambhavi Mudra signifies that she is the very essence and the inherent power behind this transformative practice. Ultimately, Shambhavi represents a state of enlightened awareness and heightened consciousness. It is the sublime state where the perceived duality between the observer and the observed gently dissolves, leading to the profound realization of the non-dual reality. Furthermore, the name Shambhavi points towards the innate divine potential residing within each of us. Just as Shambhavi is the inseparable Shakti of Shiva, the individual soul, the Jivatma, holds the potential to realize its true nature, which is ultimately one with and inseparable from Paramatma. This understanding of our inherent connection to the divine makes the act of worship described in the next name even more meaningful. The 123rd name in the Lalita Sahasranama is Sharadaradhya, which translates to she who is worshipped by Sharada. The name Sharada itself holds a wealth of significance. Primarily, Sharada refers to goddess Saraswati, the very embodiment and bestower of all forms of knowledge. Additionally, Sharada also signifies the Vagdevis, the goddesses of speech who through their devotion and wisdom compose the sacred Lalita Sahasranama itself. Furthermore, Sharada is a synonym for Vidya or knowledge in its purest and most profound form. Finally, Sharada also refers to the auspicious Sharad the autumn season, particularly significant as a time when Navaratri, a major festival dedicated to the Divine Mother, is celebrated. Therefore, Sharadaradhya carries multiple layers of meaning. she who is worshipped by goddess Saraswati, she who is worshipped during the Sharad the autumn season. It also means she who is worshipped by the Vagdevis. More importantly, it means she who is worshipped by knowledge itself. This means all sources of true knowledge ultimately lead to her. She is the ultimate destination of the Vedas, the Puranas, and all sacred scriptures. There is another important message in this name. It symbolically illuminates the ideal way in which we should approach the worship of the goddess. To truly worship her, we must become Sharada ourselves. We must cultivate the qualities associated with Sharad gentleness, purity, sincerity, and virtuousness, the very essence of the Sattva Guna. It is with a mind imbued with these qualities in this auspicious frame of mind that our devotion finds its most fertile ground. Furthermore, Sharadaradhya emphasizes that our worship should be informed by understanding. We should worship her, knowing her well, with deep comprehension of what she represents, rather than with blind belief, devoid of intellectual and spiritual enquiry. More importantly, the name Sharadaradhya emphasizes that the culmination of knowledge is Bhakti. It implies that true knowledge, Jnanam, does not lead one away from the Divine Mother, but rather culminates in the profound realization of her greatness, naturally inspiring deep bhakti towards her. Even the most knowledgeable beings like Sharada, those who embody wisdom itself, worship her. This understanding sets the stage for the next name. The 124th name in the Lalita Sahasranama is Sharvani, which directly translates to wife of Sharva. To truly appreciate the depth of this name, we must first understand the significance of Sharva. Sharva is yet another powerful and evocative name of Lord Shiva. As we know, Shiva is revered through countless names, each illuminating a unique facet of his multifaceted being. Notably, Shiva is described as having 8 primary aspects, the Ashtamurti, which pervade and constitute the entirety of creation. These 8 forms are the very building blocks of our universe, the 5 fundamental elements: space, Akasha, air, Vayu, water, Apaha, fire, Agni, and earth, Prithvi, along with the sun, moon, and the individual soul, Atma. In essence, Shiva in these 8 forms permeates every iota of existence. Significantly, Sharva represents the Prithvi Tattvam, the very essence of the earth element, also known as Bhuswarupam. In this form, Shiva is the nurturer, the one who fills the earth with riches and sustains all life that springs from it. Consequently, Sharvani, as the consort of Sharva, beautifully embodies this nurturing and life-giving quality. She is the one who makes Shri flow, the bestower of all prosperity and abundance. Since everything arises from the earth, flourishes within it, and ultimately returns to it, the name Sharvani also underscores the fundamental importance of the goddess in the grand cosmic dance of creation, preservation, and dissolution. The Divine Mother in her myriad forms is often perceived as the very personification of nature and the dynamic creative force that underlies all of existence. Intriguingly, in this form as Sharva, Shiva is also considered the father of the planet Mars, Angaraka. Therefore, propitiating Sharvani can be a powerful means to mitigate the malefic influences of Angaraka in one's life. Sharvani is described as Layakarani. While Layam signifies dissolution or destruction, in a deeper spiritual context, it also implies Kaivalyam or liberation. Thus, Sharvani is the compassionate force who dissolves all our accumulated karmas and binding attachments, ultimately granting us the profound freedom of liberation. In essence, the name Sharvani beautifully weaves together the earthly and the transcendent, highlighting the Divine Mother's role as the source of abundance, the consort of a fundamental aspect of Shiva, and the ultimate liberator from the cycles of karma. Now we turn to another beautiful attribute, her role as the giver of happiness. The 125th name in the Lalita Sahasranama is Sharmadayini, which means the one who bestows happiness. This begs the question, why Sharma and not the more common word for happiness, Sukha? The word Sharma refers to a happiness far deeper and more enduring than sensory pleasures. Sharma represents a bliss that is permanent and beyond the grasp of senses. It is the Brahmananda, the very bliss of Brahman. This is the happiness that remains when all else is dissolved, the serene joy that dawns when all karmas are burnt away by the fire of knowledge. The bliss that arises only from true spiritual knowledge is termed Sharma. Therefore, Sharmadayini is not simply the giver of transient happiness. She is the compassionate bestower of that supreme joy which emanates from the realization of the self. Interestingly, the surname Sharma is prevalent in India and is meant for those who aspire for this very Jnanananda, those who strive to transcend the allure of worldly happiness. It serves as a constant reminder of the ultimate goal, to attain that enduring bliss that arises from wisdom. In essence, Sharmadayini signifies Lalita Devi's grace in leading us beyond the ephemeral joys of the material world towards the eternal and profound bliss of spiritual realization. The Divine Mother who bestows that undepletable bliss is further described by the 126th name in the Lalita Sahasranama, Shankari. The name Shankari directly signifies wife of Shankara. This echoes the sentiment of previous names like Sharvani, Shambhavi, all proclaiming her inseparable union with Lord Shiva. To understand Shankari, we must first appreciate the meaning of Shankara. Sham karoti iti Shankara translates to the one who brings about peace and happiness. As we discussed earlier, the Rudram highlights three names, Shambhu, Shankara and Shiva, as the most sacred names of Shiva, each signifying pure auspiciousness. Shambhu means the source or cause of auspiciousness. Shankara means the one who bestows auspiciousness and happiness. And Shiva means the very personification of auspiciousness. Therefore, Shankari is the Shakti, the divine power and energy of Shankara. She embodies the active principle through which Shankara's auspiciousness and peace are manifested in the cosmos. In the Kalika Purana, the goddess herself explains why she is called Shankari. She says she is never separate from Shiva through all the cycles of the universe, its arising, its existence, its destruction, and even when the universe does not exist. That is why she is known by the auspicious name Shankari. This underscores their eternal and indivisible nature, where the auspiciousness of Shiva is inherently intertwined with the power and presence of Shankari. In essence, Shankari represents the active, dynamic aspect of the divine auspiciousness and peace, eternally united with Shiva, permeating all phases of cosmic existence. She is the power that brings forth and sustains the benevolent qualities of Shankara. Having just explored Shankari, the Divine Mother who embodies and bestows ultimate spiritual bliss, we now turn to the 127th name in the Lalita Sahasranama, Shrikari. The name Shrikari directly means she who confers prosperity. It also means she who is the embodiment of prosperity and auspiciousness. Just as Sham karoti iti Shankara defines Shankara as the bringer of peace, Shriyam Karoti iti Shrikari defines the Divine Mother as the giver of all forms of Shri. Here, Shri extends far beyond mere material wealth. In our tradition, it encompasses a holistic state of well-being, including happiness, beauty, attraction, and overall auspiciousness. Mangalam. This means true wealth is not solely about what one possesses, but fundamentally about who one becomes, aligning with the ultimate goal of spiritual evolution and self-perfection. When we meditate on her as Shrikari, we are actively invoking her dynamic power to manifest these qualities in our lives, guiding us towards an integrated state of inner peace and outer harmony. Then there is another dimension to this name. Throughout the Lalita Sahasranama, we consistently see the profound truth that Shiva and Shakti are one and the same. With the name Shrikari, we uncover another layer of non-duality. This name tells us that Vishnu and Lalitambika are also one and the same. To understand this, let's take a short detour to the Vishnu Sahasranamam. The 611th name in this revered text is Shrikara, which literally means the same as Shrikari, the giver of prosperity to his devotees. This isn't the only connection. Several names in the Lalita Sahasranamam reiterate that Lalita and Vishnu are one and the same. Here are a few powerful examples. Govinda Rupini, which is the 267th name. Narayani, which is the 298th name in the Lalita Sahasranamam. And Vishnu Rupini, which is the 893rd name in the hymn. That's why Lalita is sometimes referred to as Vishnu's younger sister. And in her form as Durga, she even wields his weapons, the Shankha and Chakra, conch and discus. This explicit parallel between Shiva and Shakti and Vishnu and Lalita highlights a core tenet of Advaita Vedanta. Different deities, despite their distinct forms and functions, are ultimately understood as manifestations of the same singular supreme Brahman. Shrikari thus not only reveals the Divine Mother as the source of all prosperity, but also reinforces the profound interconnectedness and oneness of the Divine. From Shrikari, the bestower of all prosperity, we now transition to the 128th name, Sadhvi. The word Sadhvi is a beautiful and significant term with multiple layers of meaning. It primarily means she who is eternally devoted to her husband. Throughout the Lalita Sahasranamam, the inseparable bond between the goddess and Shiva is a recurring theme. Sadhvi further emphasizes this unwavering devotion, her pativratyam, steadfast loyalty to her husband. Our Puranas are replete with enchanting tales that celebrate the extraordinary love between Shiva and Parvati, a love that transcends their seemingly disparate natures. Let's consider the captivating story of their marriage. We know that Shiva opened his third eye and reduced Kamadeva, the god of love, to ashes. Consequently, Parvati resolved to win him over through intense penance. Her mother, Meena, was so troubled and heartbroken by the severe austerity her daughter had undertaken. She pleaded with her to abandon it, crying out, "Uma," which means, "Oh, don't." This exclamation is how Parvati came to be known as Uma. When Shiva finally arrived to seek Parvati's hand in marriage, Meena was aghast. She could not reconcile herself to the idea of her regal daughter marrying a deity smeared with cremation ashes, unclad and accompanied by an entourage of unconventional ganas. Yet, despite her mother's reservations, Shiva and Parvati forged a marriage of profound depth and unwavering love. Parvati's devotion to Shiva remained steadfast. Though Shiva is often portrayed as an eccentric ascetic, adorned with snakes, surrounded by spectral beings, and residing in the cremation grounds, Parvati, the daughter of the majestic Himalayas, willingly relinquished her royal life to follow him wherever he went. In turn, Shiva elevated her to his equal, recognizing her intellectual prowess. Their deep intellectual exchanges and debates are said to have given rise to profound spiritual texts, including the Tantras. The Ardhararishwara Stotram, a beautiful hymn dedicated to their inseparable union, eloquently captures their contrasting yet complementary nature and their unshakable love. Consider these poignant verses. Kasturika kunkuma charchitayai chitaraja punja vicharchitaya kritasmarayai vikritasmaraya namashivayai cha namashivaya. To her whose body is smeared with musk and saffron, to him whose body is smeared with ashes of a burning ghat, to her whose beauty radiates love, and to him who destroyed the god of love. And it culminates with this beautiful affirmation of their eternal togetherness. Pradipta Ratnojwala Kundalayai Spuranmaha Pannaga Bhushanaya Shivanvitayai cha Shivanvitaya Namah Shivayai cha Namah Shivaya. To her adorned with glittering earrings of gems, to him who wears a great serpent as an ornament, to her who is inseparable from Shiva, and to him who is inseparable from Parvati. This profound and unconventional love is why Parvati, as Gauri, is revered during Sumangali Puja. All our goddesses are Pativratas. However, Parvati's devotion is seen as particularly special. Her union with Shiva wasn't based on common compatibility or similar backgrounds. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, married the regal Vishnu. Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, found companionship with Brahma, the creator. Their matches were harmonious, but Parvati and Shiva were very different. Their love was tested by these stark differences. Yet, it blossomed into an unbreakable bond. During Sumangali Puja, we seek the goddess's blessing to grant us this enduring and transformative love. Therefore, as Sadhvi, Lalita Devi embodies not just virtue and devotion in a general sense, but specifically the unwavering and transformative love exemplified by Parvati for Shiva, a love that transcends differences and stands as a testament to the power of the goddess's Pativratya. This inner strength of devotion and virtue naturally manifests as an outer radiance, which is described in the 129th name in the Lalita Sahasranama, Sharat Chandra Nibhanana. This exquisite name translates to the one whose face is like the autumnal moon. This name beautifully encapsulates the serene, luminous, and pristine loveliness of Lalita Devi's face, drawing a captivating parallel to the splendor of the moon in the clear autumn sky. The autumnal moon is revered for its full, bright, and gentle radiance. Unlike the harsh glare of the summer sun, its light is soothing and nurturing, symbolizing purity, serenity, and auspiciousness. This name evokes a profound sense of calmness and ethereal charm, suggesting that even a glimpse of the goddess's face can bestow tranquility and joy upon her devotees. Furthermore, the gentle and pleasing light of the autumn moon can be seen as a reflection of Lalita Devi's inner state. Her face mirrors a mind filled with bliss, boundless compassion, divine love, exquisite beauty, and countless other sublime qualities. Therefore, by comparing Lalita Devi's face to the Sharat Chandra, the Lalita Sahasranamam subtly indicates it is the harbinger of Anugraham, divine grace, much like the welcome arrival of the gentle and radiant moon in the Sharat Kala. The next name also carries profound symbolic weight. The 130th name in the Lalita Sahasranamam is Shatodari, often translated simply as the one with a slender waist. This might initially seem like a purely physical description. However, as we have seen with the previous names, this name has deeper layers of meaning. I want to take you back to the 35th name of the Lalita Sahasranamam, Laksharoma Latadara Tasamunyeya Madhyama, which translates to she whose waist can only be inferred by the creeper-like hairs racing there. It suggests that her waist is so small that it is almost invisible. In our discussion of that name, we noted that beyond the literal, the description carries significant symbolism. The navel, Nabi, is frequently seen as the origin point of creation, the central hub from which the universe unfolds. The Vedas themselves proclaim Nabhya Asid Antariksham. From the navel of the cosmic being emerged space itself. Therefore, the waist upon which the navel rests can be interpreted as representing something even beyond space, something more fundamental and elusive. It symbolizes the unseen principle, the unmanifest foundation upon which the entire manifest universe, including space, comes into being and rests. This is a key implication of Shatodhari, pointing towards the subtle causal reality underlying all existence. Beyond this primary interpretation, the name Shatodhari also carries several other significant implications. It signifies she who is Bindu Swarupam, the central point of cosmic energy and consciousness from which all creation emanates. This aligns beautifully with the concept of the navel as the origin. Shatodhari also means she who is the daughter of Himalayas. In this sense, Shatodhari is a synonym of Parvati, which means daughter of the mountain. Philosophically, this name means the one who destroys duality, and hence she is the one who grants Kaivalyam, liberation and oneness. Thus, the name Shatodhari, while seemingly describing a physical attribute, ultimately points towards Lalita Devi as the subtle, unmanifest foundation of the universe, the Bindu from which all arises, the daughter of the primal mountain, and the bestower of liberation from duality. This journey towards liberation ultimately culminates in a state of profound peace, which is the very essence of the next name. The 131st name in the Lalita Sahasranamam is Shantimati, which beautifully translates to she who is full of peace or the peaceful one. The most direct meaning is that the goddess is the very embodiment of peace itself. As the quintessential essence of tranquility, Lalita Devi graciously bestows peace of mind and serenity upon her devoted followers. The very act of chanting her name, particularly this one, can invoke a profound sense of inner calm and tranquility. Shantimati further indicates that the goddess is inherently free from all forms of agitation or disturbance. Her divine nature is characterized by an unwavering and absolute state of peace. Therefore, this name speaks of her Atma Swarupam. Shanti is Purna Sthiti, a complete and perfect state where all mental modifications are fully resolved and absorbed. It is the state where all the fluctuations and modifications of the mind completely disappear. Therefore, this name also reveals her Upashama Swabhavam. She naturally and effortlessly alleviates the suffering and bondage caused by the cycle of birth, death and rebirth, also known as samsara. This cycle is characterized by constant change, desires, attachments and the resulting pain. Her very nature is to bring an end to this agitation. This is not just about providing temporary moments of peace. She brings about a fundamental shift in consciousness, leading to a permanent state of tranquility. This profound and unwavering peace is what is called Turiya in Vedanta. With this name, Shantimati, we come to the end of the 10 names beginning with the auspicious syllable Sha. In our previous video, we explored the 10 names starting with Bha. Together, these 20 names, commencing with Bhavani and culminating in Shantimati, delineate a specific and profound form of spiritual practice or upasana within the Sri Vidya tradition, known as Shambhavi Vidya. Within the Sri Vidya tradition, Shambhavi Vidya holds a significant and revered place, recognized both as a path of transformative knowledge and a powerful form of initiation or diksha. Fundamentally, Shambhavi Vidya represents the divine power and wisdom associated with Lord Shiva. The goddess who is the central focus of worship in this upasana is Bhavani. Therefore, these 20 names beginning with Bhavani collectively describe Bhavani Upasana. Shambhavi Vidya is described as a potent spiritual practice that aids the seeker in breaking free from the illusions of Maya, leading to profound realization, detachment from worldly attachments, and ultimately liberation. Since this knowledge guides us towards the ultimate tranquility of moksha, it fittingly concludes with the name Shantimati, the bestower of this supreme and lasting tranquility. The state of Shanti or the Turiya Avastha is the ultimate destination of this Shambhavi Vidya. Interestingly, goddess Bhavani is said to have 6 Anga Devatas or attendant deities who are integral to her worship and represent different facets of her being. These goddesses are Shambhavi, Sharvani, Shatodari, Sadhvi, Sharatchandra Nibanana and Shantimati. They form an essential part of the Bhavani Upasana. The fruits or palam of engaging in Shambhavi Vidya are further described in the names that followed the initial Bha series. Bhavaranya Kutarika, Bhakta Saubhagya Dayini, Bhayapaha, Sharmadayini, Shankari, Shrikari. The names Sharmadayini and Shankari speak to the attainment of both worldly well-being and spiritual progress, while Shrikari highlights the prosperity and resources necessary to support these endeavors. And so we conclude our exploration into the profound depths of the sacred Shambhavi Vidya. As we turn the page in the Lalita Sahasranama, a new series of names awaits us, each beginning with the resonant syllable Ni. What hidden aspects of the Divine Mother will these names unveil? What fresh insights into her boundless nature are yet to be discovered? Join me in our next video as we embark on this new leg of our journey. Thank you once again for traveling with me on this path of discovery. If you have found this exploration enriching, please do subscribe, like, and share this video with fellow seekers. May the grace of the goddess continue to guide you on your own unique journey of self-discovery and profound transformation. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.